Good morning. It's Cheryl from Dry Branch Hollow, and I'm going to do a video on how to hang a hem. And this is on my Addi. It's the small Addi, and it's going to be for a pair of socks. However, you can hang a hem for a hat. It just gives it a more finished look if you're doing a single layer hat and not a double layer hat. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put your yarn through the hole. You're going to come around your first black needle. Now you could do any one. This is just the way I do it. And then you're going to go behind you next, in front, behind, in front. And we're going to do this. Oops, I don't have it secured. All the way around. And then once you get back to that, you're going to go around your last black needle, open up your tension, put your yarn through there. Ooh, come on in. There we go. Put it through the little hole in the back and shut it tight. Here, you're going to set your counter, your row counter, for 0. And it just happens to be right underneath here. You're going to do your first row slowly. And I personally will crank for 30 rows. It does get easy after your first row. It will feel a little tight as you go around the black ones, and that's just because that's where it's counting. Your row counter will click in. Depending on the yarn you use, sometimes it's user-friendly. You can go really fast, sometimes not so much. I've used hand spun in here, and it's wonderful. I've used everything from a very thin sock yarn to a thick yarn. Sometimes you'll come up through this hole here instead of in the back. And your fingers down here, you'll see here, I keep my hand and my pinky just as a little bit extra tension. Let me get this camera back. Okay, we're halfway there. I stopped back at that first, or the last black needle, since we're going this way. But it was the first one we started with once we get to our 30. We have about 8 more rows left. A lot of people have asked how to hang a hem. It's very easy. It's less time than putting on waste yarn and crocheting, in my opinion. All right, we're at 29. And here comes 30. Now this needle here, this is the one, and you could be off a needle or two, but this is the best way to remember it. So this needle is going to be attached to your first piece of yarn. This is the piece that we put through. So you're gonna, that's just an easy way to remember. So you're going to take, not that first hole, but these 2 holes right here. See, so this is the yarn. You want to take these 2. And you're going to hook it around the needle, pull it down tight. You want to keep this little piece right out of the way for a minute. Pull those 2 loops down tight. See, there you go. They're way down inside. Make sure that your yarn that you're working with, your working yarn, is back under the needle. Crank. Okay, and then count over 2. That's what I do. You could do 1, you could do 3. 1, 2. Here's the next one. So we're going to find the 2 loops that correspond. I hold the previous one down just so it doesn't come up because you are stretching your yarn. Put those 2 over, push it down, and crank. Okay, then count 2, and you're going to do the same thing. Now with thicker yarn, you may be able to skip 3. Always hold your previous ones down. Push, push, whoops. Push it way down. Take the slack out a little bit. 1, 2. Okay. And they pretty much will line up. I'm going to put it over. Push it down. Crank. This one I'm going to do 3 because it's getting a little tight. Pull it up. Push it down. Crank. You're going to do that. Oops, get down there. Okay. Push it over. Push it down. Scooch it down so it's down. Crank. And now I'm back. I'm going to skip these 2, and that's okay. This next row, as you're going around, you want to go slowly because the ones that we just had, they're kind of thick. So you want to make sure that nothing gets stuck. You're kind of pushing down in the middle. Just put some tension on it. You can use weights if you'd like. I just don't. And you're watching to make sure that nothing pops off. Okay, see this one's up here. You want to push it down. Push it down. Make sure it stays down. Okay, we're coming back again. And now you can crank. From here to do a sock, I go from the 30 that it was to 100. I'm going to shut this off, and that'll be part 2.